Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Chris from Dream Motors. You know the name, the place, and the face. I've been saying for about a year and a half now that I was going to put out how-to videos. Here is step number one in my progression and me actually taking that. I'm going to show you a few things real basic. How to check your oil. That's day one for you, all right? There's only a few things you're going to need to know. One is how to get your hood open, which I'll show you that in a second. Two, either a clean rag of some sort or a paper towel so that you can actually look at the condition of the oil, wipe it off, and then remeasure to make sure that you're good. And three, knowing what's good and what's bad based on your dipstick. It's going to be different from every vehicle depending on if you have a foreign vehicle, an American make model, Japanese, blah blah blah, but they're all relatively around the same type of measurement on the dipstick. I'm going to show you that in 2 seconds, so stay with me and I'm going to show you where to pop the hood on some vehicles and then how to open the hood itself. Alright guys, so step one, open your door. It's usually how you get in the vehicle to go to work or whatnot. I know not too many people are working right now, but then this vehicle actually has something ingenious to help you out so that there's no question about it. If you come on in with me right here, we're going to direct you. It's got an actual mechanism that's labeled for you, says hood. That can wear off over time. Sometimes it's over here on the position, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here. It all kind of depends on the vehicle. A lot of Hondas have it down in here in the kick panel. A lot of GMs have it here. A lot of Dodges have it here or here. So you're gonna go ahead and pull that cord. You're gonna hear an audible tunk tunk type deal. That means your hood is popped. Then you're gonna go on over to the front. Now, like I said, every car, every truck, every make and model is going to be slightly different. On this one, you pull up a little bit, and right in the center, there's a lever that you get to push up, and it opens the hood for you as you're pushing it simultaneously. So the next step is knowing where your dipstick is, even if your car even has one. This vehicle has one right here, and guess what? Dodge again did it for you. Engine oil. It's labeled in yellow. It's cruddy now, but you know, you'll get that cleaned off. So step one, pull oil dipstick. Step two, look at condition of it. Now you see that right there? Do not overfill. It says check with vehicle level. So make sure you're not on a crazy hill or anything like that. You'll get a false reading. You won't know if you have the proper amount of fluid in there. So with this one, it's really easy. You're gonna take your wipe or your bowtie or whatever you got. You're gonna wipe it off. Make sure that you can read clearly, add safe, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna re-emit it into the stick. Feed it on down. Sit it for a second, pull it back out, and then you're gonna pull up and you're actually gonna look at it. So right there, we are halfway in the safe mark, so it's a little bit low. Now this vehicle had an issue losing some oil, and I just got done completing the job, so I'm gonna top it off so that it's at the top of the safe mark so the customer doesn't have any complaints or concerns with it later on. They'll be back for an oil change anyway within about 1,000 or 1,200 miles or so, because he keeps up on his vehicle with us, so we just know the customer. So, that being said, remember I said some vehicles may or may not have a dipstick? There's a lot of BMWs, there's a lot of Mercedes, there's a lot of Audi Volkswagens that even though you may see the stick tube and you might see something you can pull on, it's probably just a placeholder and a cap. There is no actual stick. A lot of the Dodge Chrysler products do that for the transmissions as well, where you need a special tool to actually measure the fluid that's in the transmission. I'll be right back with you guys and show you one more. So the last thing I'm gonna actually show you is how to top your vehicle off on oil should you need to, should you find that, hey, it's super dark and super low and you need a little bit more. Usually on most of these motors, there's gonna be a cap similar to this that might have the engine oil designation on it, tell you the type of oil it's supposed to take. Sometimes it rubs off, sometimes the sticker's missing. Sometimes you can't find this because there's a plastic cover over it. So you just gotta kind of look around, poke around, see if you can find it. This one twists off really easily. And now I'm just gonna go get about 1/4 of a quart of oil, dump that in, recheck it, and see where we're at. Because like the dipstick said, you don't wanna overfill it. Now, what kind of an instructor or teacher would I be if I didn't tell you why they put a precaution there? There's a reason for it, just listen to it. Simple as that, that's how I teach. I'm just kidding. What you're gonna do is you're gonna overfill the crankcase, which you would think too much of something is not a bad thing, but it can be. So what happens is as this motor's running and rotating, the pump is delivering oil through different places. If there's too much oil in there, that pressure can rise, and you can actually risk blowing out seals as they're rotating around because they're always in constant contact in various places inside the motor. And if those tear, now you got oil consumption issues inside the motor or outside of the oil. It's dripping everywhere and can cause leaks, headaches, big repairs. So save yourself some hassle, follow the instructions, listen to the manufacturer. I don't care what anybody says on any forum or anything like that. Listen to what your manual says or what the manufacturer says in the book if you can. They produced it, they made it, they spent millions and millions of dollars making sure that this vehicle stays running. They know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing, so that's why we follow it to the T. It's Chris from Dream Autos. Welcome to day one of how to, and now I hope you know how to check your oil.